Welcome to the Marketing Revolution podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand that everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with the Marketing Revolution podcast in the Marketing Savage Facebook group, bringing you another Motivational Monday. What I want to talk about today is specifically from the podcast that I did with Tom Ziglar. Now, if you did not listen to that podcast or watch that podcast in the Marketing Savage Facebook group, I'm going to go over a few things. I want to say that Tom actually dropped the keys to the kingdom on this podcast and on his podcast that I had with him. So I want to just recap some of the things that me and Tom talked about on that podcast, because I believe that if you guys haven't listened to that, I want a smaller version of that, like a motivational Monday for that. And I believe that right now is the time for you guys to hear that. I know that I'm going to be talking to a bunch of y'all out there that may be having problems, that may be having issues, that may be dealing with scarcity, that may be dealing with haters, that may be dealing with problems, that may be dealing with the IRS, that may be dealing with business partners that have gone bad. Like, there's so many fucking things that we have in this life that we've got to deal with. I'm going to break down quickly exactly how you deal with these things. And again, this is something that Tom Ziglar dropped on the podcast. It's probably one of the most amazing things that I've heard. And many of you guys know that I love Tom, but he's a rock star, and he's incredibly powerful dude that knows what he's talking about. Son of Zig Ziglar. He's literally lived it. He's been immersed in a success culture his entire life. We can't even imagine the people that Tom Ziglar met as a kid, as a young adult, growing up as an adult, and being around, having a father figure like Zig Ziglar. Incredibly powerful, and it shows. I mean, Tom is very, very knowledgeable. I hope one day that my son has the legacy that I can instill in these principles and these things in him, that he can show up in the world like Tom has shown up in the world. You know, Tom is now the head of the Ziglar empire, and he runs a Ziglar coaching program that's off the hook. It's off the chain. They got an amazing coaching program over there. And one of the things that me and Tom was talking about is just times in your life when you may be you may even be at the point to where you're waking up in the middle of the night. You're dealing with stress. There's a lot of stress in your life. There's a lot of shit going on that you really don't know how you're going to handle it. There may be things going on that you're just worried about in general. Well, his technique to fix this worry. Let me break down his technique on doing this, okay? Well, number one, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you wake up in a ball of fucking panic, a ball of worry, you know that you're probably level 10 because the shit's fucking waking you up in the middle of the night. I mean, you guys know literally that if one of my employees, if I wake up in the middle of the night and I think about them because they've stressed me and I think about them, I'm going to fire them the next day. That's the way I roll. I don't allow anybody in my life to be so stressful that I wake up in the middle of the night fucking thinking about them. And I don't let a situation in my life be so stressful that I wake up in the middle of the night fucking thinking about it. So here's the trick. Okay, number one, the first thing that you do is you go to a quiet place. Pretty easy in the middle of the night. And, just a heads up. I mean, y'all can do this in the middle of the day. If you're fucking stressed in the middle of the day, or you're listening to this podcast right now and you feel like you're really fucking stressed, this is something that you need to stop and something that you need to do. The very first thing you need to do is go to a quiet place and get quiet and just listen and calm your brain down. And then put a plain piece of paper in front of you. And the very first thing you do is write down everything that you're grateful for. I mean, write it down. Don't fucking sit there and think about it in your head. Actually write it down. I don't give a shit if it's the shirt on your head, the shirt on your body. I don't care if it's the shoes that you're wearing, the roof over your head. Do you have a healthy family? Do you have healthy animals? Were you fed today? Like all of these things. Do you have your freedom still? Are you not? Are you in prison? No, you're not. You have something to be grateful for then. Are you alive? Are you breathing? You have something to be grateful for. Write down everything that you're grateful for. Now, here's the key to this. Fear and gratitude cannot live in the same space. So you are clearing your mind and your body and your soul of this paralyzing fucking fear that you're dealing with. Okay. You got to clear yourself of that because fear and gratitude cannot live in the same space. The next thing you do is create a list, and then you write down everything that you've accomplished, everything that you've ever accomplished, anything. I don't care if you got 10th place. Like I always think of the Meet the Fockers with Gaylord Fokker, how his parents hung up like the 10th place, emblem, and they had his jock strap hanging up from wrestling and, all that shit. Like anything that you've done in your life that you've accomplished, that you've succeeded at, that you've won, write down all of your wins, because now what you're doing is you're programming your mind to basically associate, I did it before, I can do it again. So the first step is to do the gratitude exercise. You want to get rid of that fear. The next step is you want to build up confidence because you did it before. You've done it before. All of us have accomplished something fucking amazing. Write all of that shit down. Okay? Write all of it down. You did it before, and now you can do it again. Third thing you do, you write the problem. Actually, you write the fucking solution to your problem. What is the solution to your problem at the top of a piece of paper? What is this issue? What is this looming thing? Is it financial? Then maybe the fucking solution is for your ass to fucking get to work, actually get serious, actually go full fucking fledged into whatever it is that you're doing and be relentless, become a fucking savage, right? Maybe that's the issue. Whatever the problem is, you write down what the solution is. What can you do to fucking correct this problem? Each and every one of you guys have it in you, by the way. Each and every one of you guys have unlimited amounts of fucking power inside of you. You guys all have it, okay? Then what you do is you draw a line down the middle of this piece of paper. So you write that at the top, and then you draw a line down the middle. And then on one side, you write down all the shit you have no control over. Everything you have no control over, you write that down on one side of the paper. And then on the other side of the paper, you write down actionable steps you have control over. And then what you do is you get to work on that fucking list that you have control over. The actionable steps. Them are your MITs. Them are your most important tasks. If you guys haven't downloaded the Savage Scheduler, head on over to the Marketing Savage group. Download it. Them are your daily MITs, your most important task that you do daily. And then you start putting in the fucking work. Because look, guys, the opposite of depression is not happiness. The opposite of depression is purpose. So what do? We clear the fear. First thing. The second thing we do is we build the confidence. The third thing we do is we build the fucking plan. And then you get to work on the side of the list that you actually have control over. And that other shit that you don't have control over, you give that to God. You give that over to God. You let God take care of that because you can't control it. There's no fucking reason you should be worrying about it because you shouldn't have any time at all because you should be focusing on that left side of the list. The side of the list, the shit that you can actually do to accomplish whatever it is that you need to do to get over this thing. So right there, y'all, the keys of the kingdom. That was brought to us by Tom Ziglar, an amazing fucking individual. And that is probably a 3-step success system that it's the best that I've ever heard. Literally, it's one of the best ones I've ever heard because it's simple, it's fast, it gets to the point, and it puts the fucking ball in your court. You want to take back the power. Don't ever leave the power or leave the ball in somebody else's court where you're blaming people, where you are the victim. Be the victor of your life. Take that shit back and get to fucking work. Become the savage that I know and that you know that you are. All right, everybody. Appreciate you for coming along on this Marketing Revolution podcast. And again, get your ass over to the Marketing Savage Facebook group. We'd love to see you over there. All right, y'all. We'll see you on the next one.